What's up, guys? So I've gone over neutral spine position as it pertains to squatting and hinging. So now we're going to go over probably one of the exercises that I see people have a lot of trouble figuring out how to really get that neutral spine and tuck the pelvis underneath the body, and that's in a plank position. So that's both low plank and high plank. So on your elbows or on your hands. Okay, so especially when people are doing something that is not just holding that position, where you're adding a movement like a push-up, for example. So it's more of that dynamic integrated core bracing. A lot of people, because especially if push-ups are hard, they focus so much on what's going on with the upper body, they forget about engaging here and keeping that neutral spine, and so then essentially your hips are dead weight that's kind of throwing off that kinetic chain and that ability to be efficient, stable, as opposed to muscle engaged to help solidify that efficiency, moving throughout your body. So let's go over just a neutral spine on a regular plank, or an ab plank, a low plank, depending on what you want to say. So a lot of people have a hard time tucking and tightening like so, keeping that neutral spine, back nice and flat, hips level with the chest. So one of two things happen. So either people go way high like so, and so the glutes aren't engaged, there's a lot of flexion in the hips, no efficiency there, not really working those abs the way we could, or there's an arch in the back, see how my butt kind of stuck up, hips are not tucked on the body, and then the hips start to sag, and you say, oh, why'd you drop from that plank, man? Oh, because my back was hurting, I just felt tension in my back. Oh yeah, because the abs aren't tight, they put a lot of stress on that lumbar spine, okay? So notice how going from here to squeezing the glutes, setting the abs, tucking, takes that hyperextension out of the back. You get to more of a neutral position as opposed to a lordotic position. You're just gonna hold right here, okay? So that is a neutral spine on a plank. Everything's engaged, we're bending the knees, everything's tight, the whole body, from top of your head, back to your heels. You're not tucking the chin, you're not going up. Back of the head is right about even with the top of your shoulder blades. Holding it right here, okay? So now let's go over in a high plank position, okay? Gonna look very similar, just arms are extended, okay? So instead of hips sagging down here, this is really what I see a lot of, is abs aren't tight, glutes aren't tight, there's no engagement in that midsection, hips are flying away from you, and then just throws everything off, right? That's shitty push-up. So you're gonna tighten and tuck, okay? Think about the position of shoulder blades, going back down towards your hips, not going up. About a 45-degree angle in relation to your upper arm and your torso. Keeping that nice neutral spine, those glutes engaged the entire time, okay? That's where a lot of people just, they forget about it or have never been taught to really be cognizant of that position on a plank, or on a push-up in particular. So, once again, now hips away from you, abs loose, flexion in the hips, hyperextension of the back. We're gonna literally tuck the hips under the body, really squeezing the glutes and also tightening the abs. Think about that ability to narrow the space between your rib cage and your belly without collapsing your chest forward. See how chest stays upright right now, my abs are not tight, there's a lot of space between my rib cage and my belly. I'm gonna just tuck. You see that tuck, how that narrows that space between here and here. So instead of being abs loose, I'm gonna just see how squeeze, tuck. I didn't actively move my chest at all, okay? So this is a huge thing that even advanced, people lifters that have lifted for 10, 15 years, we have to go back and retrain this because it is a huge issue in regards to efficiency, but also you're putting your lower back in a much worse position. So especially if you're someone who deadlifts or squats a lot, you don't want to be putting more strain on your lower back, on something like a plank or push-up. That should be good for your core and your spine, then you need to. It's going to help, it's going to fuck up your recovery from other things. So focus on that position. Tighten the glutes, tighten the abs, tuck the hips underneath the body. You don't want to fly away and sag.